I lost my ability to walk, and we were panicking at that point.
Imagine retiring abroad only to lose the ability to walk overnight.
When you change insurance, there is some lapse there before the new insurance takes effect.
What would you do if your insurance wasn't active yet?
Just to get out and meet people is pretty tough.
Sometimes the hardest part of retiring abroad is the loneliness. How do you start over and build a new circle of friends?
The wife asked me, what do you think about moving to Peru? And I told her, why not? Let's go.
Meet Les, a 63-year-old man from Atlanta who retired in Lima, Peru. Today, he shares his journey of relocating, retiring, adapting to a new culture, dealing with loneliness abroad, and navigating the local healthcare system. Stick around until the end to hear his story of how he lost his ability to walk while in Peru and tips for future expats. I'm Eric. I've been interviewing expats in person through all of Latin America since 2022. Let's jump into it. Welcome back to the channel. We have a new guest. Let's get to know him. What's your name?
It's Les Parnell.
Les, where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
And where are we now, Les?
We're in Lima, Peru.
So, Atlanta, Georgia, now in Peru. And as you can see, behind us, we see the ocean. Where specifically in Peru are we? In Lima?
We're on the coast, just south of the city of Lima, district of Barranco.
And tell me, how old are you?
63 years old.
Are you working or retired?
I've already retired, and actually I've been here for 3 years, and I haven't worked since. So I officially retired a year ago.
Oh, fantastic. So can you walk us through the way in which you decided to move from America, from Atlanta down here to Lima?
Sure. Originally, we were planning on selling our house and downsizing because we no longer had the kids living with us. No need for a huge 4-bedroom house anymore. So we decided that we're going to sell the house. So we started looking for something smaller, and the market changed. And so all the houses now had just doubled or tripled in cost. So we figured that we would be paying the same thing basically we were paying for a smaller house. So we just decided, driving down the street one day, the wife asked me, what do you think about moving to Peru? And I told her, I said, why not? And I'd already been here more than a dozen times, so I pretty much knew what I was getting into. Basically, we just got everything together and sold our house. Our house sold in 5 days. We sold everything else we owned, profit from that, and moved straight down here.
And did you buy a property here in Lima?
Yes, we did. We bought it's funny, we bought a 3-bedroom, but converted one of the rooms into a walk-in closet. So, and the other is a guest room / office. So it works out pretty good.
And how was that price of that apartment compared to what you were thinking about buying previously in Atlanta?
We actually got a really good deal. The lady that owned it was moving out of the country to Spain. So we negotiated a little bit and came to a price of $150,000. It's a really nice apartment. It was only 2 years old when we bought it, so everything was fairly new. The cost of the house in Georgia that we were looking at was almost $400,000. There's a big difference.
Massive savings on just that purchase alone, right?
Right, yeah, massive.
And where did you buy the apartment? Was it here in Barranco where we are now?
Yeah, it's in Barranco. It's one of the safer districts of Lima. There was a few places we were looking at. San Borja is real nice, San Isidro, Miraflores, but Barranco had a certain feel to it. Bohemian type city with a lot of nightlife, a lot of really nice restaurants to eat at, and the cost of living is a lot lower than most of the tourist areas.
It's a bit lower than Miraflores. And where we met as well, where do we meet? At Doug's place?
Yeah, at Doug's place, that is San Isidro. The prices are probably comparable to San Isidro, but it's a lot cheaper than Miraflores.
For those that don't know, where is your wife from? And where did you meet her?
She is from Lima, Peru, and met her 20 years ago at a company I was working for, JVC. It was her first day coming and she was there as a temporary worker, and they let in everybody they needed and stopped right at her and said, I'm sorry, we got enough people. The person that she rode there with was already inside working, so she had no way to get back home and didn't know where home was because she was fresh to the United States. I introduced myself, asked her if she needed a ride, and she said, well, I need a ride, but I don't know where the house is. So we're gonna have to wait until her friend gets off of work. Probably about a month later, I asked her out, and we started dating from there, and everything moved pretty fast. Like I said, we've been together 20 years now, still happily married. She was actually from a rough side of Lima, from La Victoria, and that was not negotiable to move there with me. So we wanted to move someplace that I could feel more at ease walking around. I mean, in Barranco, you can walk around at 1:30 in the morning without any worries.
So tell me, why did you guys decide to come to live here in Lima?
Well, that was mostly influenced by friends and family, her family that lives here. So it would be an easy access to have company around us, still removed from everything in life. I mean, it would be nice to move to Cusco. There's a lot of history there. It's a little bit nicer being around friends and family.
I heard there's a lot of retirees in the Valle Sagrado, the Sacred Valley area. I'm actually heading up there soon. So I'll check out that place. Have you been there already?
I've been there before. There's a little bit of altitude, and I get altitude sickness pretty easily. So I prefer to live more at sea level.
Where you can see the sea right from the window.
Exactly.
So this actually isn't your apartment. We're actually visiting your daughter's apartment, right?
This is correct, yeah.
And what floor are we on now?
The 21st floor.
Yeah. So this is a pretty special spot. Not a lot of places have the view of the ocean, this view. So this is a pretty nice spot. So you mentioned you came down to Lima partially because of having family nearby. You wanted to have people around that you could connect with. And that brings me to my next question is, what do you do while living here to fight off loneliness whenever you feel perhaps, since you're far from your family, not hers? What do you do when you feel that kind of loneliness that you would feel being abroad?
Well, we've had sort of an agreement that twice a year, if I'd like to, I could fly back to the States and visit with my family. But also, just to get out and meet people is pretty tough, unless you're, just socially adaptable to your environment. What I decided to do is create a group on Facebook just to meet other expats. It doesn't have to mean that they come from the United States. It could be from anywhere, Germany, Canada, a bunch of other places. And I created that group to meet people, and we've created events within that group to get together and have celebrate Thanksgiving or 4th of July, or just have a few brews together.
What's the name of the group?
It's the Gringo Expat Exchange.
How many people are in the group?
Right now, about 3,500.
Ooh, it's a big group, huh?
Yeah.
When did you start that?
Started in January of 2024.
Oh, awesome.
About a year and a half.
Year and a half, pretty big group for that amount of time.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a lot of people that want to make friends.
Making lots of friends. And
Yeah.
And how many new people have you met on that group?
Personally, about a dozen, but friends.
Yeah.
I've met others, but they kind of come and go. Some people don't stay in Lima the whole time.
Kind of people like me.
They could be passing through or visiting or on vacation, or a lot of people go on vacation and want to get together and have a party or a cookout or something. Try and make themselves feel more comfortable.
So do you think using the Facebook groups is a really good resource for people that perhaps might feel loneliness coming here alone or not having too many contacts?
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, I mean, before then, I had been here about a year and a half. At that point, I didn't have any friends, just people that I saw around the neighborhood, and it's a little bit tough because proficient in Spanish. I can speak Spanish, but on a starter level. Really, after a year and a half of not being able to make true friends that way, I decided that we needed another outlet. So I created that group, and immediately it hit off, and probably within a month, I was already going to events. So it worked out really good.
We actually met through a mutual friend, Doug. How did you meet Doug?
I met him through one of the expats that came to the group that I've known for a while. And Doug became a resident through that person. So it turned out that we all have things in common, like sports, and other activities.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a big group of actual American retirees with Peruvian wives as well. For example, you and Doug both have Peruvian wives. The party we went to had another guy that was married, or was he dating?
No, he's dating, and actually two other people there that were dating, and they were dating Peruvian. So that was Bob and Ken.
If you're enjoying this interview and you're interested in seeing more content like this, you can check out my playlist called the Expat Interview Playlist, where I have been interviewing people from Guatemala all the way down through Central America and now here in South America.
Les, you had an experience here with the Peruvian healthcare system. People, when they think of Latin America, they're unsure about how healthcare is. Tell us about your healthcare experience and give us the times in which you were satisfied and happy about the care, and then give us an example of when you maybe weren't so satisfied.
Okay, well, first we started off at Clinica Delgado, which is a big hospital. And they have insurance through them. It's called IUNA. And my experience there was great. A lot of the doctors there speak some English, so I was able to communicate. Did all my physicals there. It was a really nice hospital, but the insurance was a little bit on the expensive side.
What was the insurance there?
The insurance is IUNA, and I think we were paying close to $5,000 a year for both of us. For me, it was rather expensive. So we decided to change insurance. When you change insurance, there is some lapse there before the new insurance takes effect. In between that time, I had a medical issue with my spinal column, and that issue actually was connected to a fistula in the bottom of my brain, and we had to take an emergency visit to the hospital because in 24-hour period, I lost my ability to walk, and we were panicking at that point. So with the new insurance, which is REMAC, which was more affordable, we went to the hospital in Miraflores. It's Clinica Good Hope. It's a really nice hospital. It's big. Also, there's a lot of English-speaking doctors there too, or that they know enough to communicate because it's in the tourist side of Lima. I was treated very well there. All the nurses were there. They gave me the attention I needed right away. No issues. But the problem was my surgery. I had to have spinal surgery. And the surgery was not covered by the insurance because the insurance wasn't starting until the end of the month and 2 weeks away. So we had to pay for all the hospital stuff at that point related to the surgery. And then a few months after that, they decided that they were going to have another surgery to fix the fistula, which was a combination of nerves and arteries all twisted together and knotted up. And they wanted to loosen that up so I could get more function down to the bottom part of my body. That was covered by insurance, and the insurance we have allows us to go pretty much to any clinic we want to go to. The insurance with Delgado Hospital, basically you could only go to that hospital. So we wanted to, since we're travelers, we like to travel around, we decided to go with REMAC so we could go to any clinic we wanted. The clinic I went to for the fistula was Centennial, if I'm not mistaken. That hospital wound up being a whole different type. You didn't get the same kind of care. The nurses, the nurses were a little bit rough on you. I guess for me, the last thing that told me I never wanted to go back there is the day that I was leaving, a nurse came in to give me a bath. It was a washcloth bath, I guess, and she used cold water, and it was already in the middle of winter time and a little bit cold in the room. So I just stopped her and I said, I don't want a bath, let's move on from here. And she didn't want to stop. So my wife, being the nice Peruvian lady, just told her kindly, no more bath. We're going to get our things together and leave. So that's what happened.
And how much was that new plan that you bought that you said covered you in many places and was cheaper?
That wound up being about $3,500 a year.
For the both of you?
For both of us, yeah. Cost of living is a lot lower than in the United States. When we moved here right away, we bought our apartment, we bought a car, and we did everything, we got everything we needed just to get it out of the way so it wouldn't interfere with our budget. And I would say monthly, the cost of everything, unless we do special events. It's probably around $800 to $1,000.
You mentioned that you also had done some physical therapy after the surgeries and after your experience there.
Yes.
Was that included in your insurance, and how was that compared to what you were expecting?
No, physical therapy is not included, neither is transportation to and from there. Um, I was pretty much laid up for 4 months. And then after that, I had to have transportation to and from the hospital, to and from the therapy. And we actually hired a company to do that for us. And it was affordable. I mean, it is, I want to say that it was, every trip was 120 soles, winds up being about $35.
So, Les, are there any tips that you would give to any people that are considering moving down to Lima, and maybe something that happened to you that you could help someone out with that you struggled with on your move?
Number one, I wouldn't ship anything here. It just costs too much money. And then plus you got to pay, the custom tax. And I would plan ahead, start selling off what you have, what you're not going to bring, or donate it, to Goodwill or someplace like that.
People around your age, around the 60s, late 50s, they're thinking about their transition into retirement, and they're not sure what age to actually decide to stop working or transition and slowly stop working. When did you start to transition into your full retirement? And do you suggest that to others, or do you think doing it later or earlier is better?
Well, I mean, who knows how long you're going to be around. I chose 62 because I didn't see a huge difference in the monthly income between 62 and 65. I just decided 62 was it. We're going to retire then. And it's worked out pretty good considering, the cost of living and everything else. Find out if it's right for you. The best thing to do would be take a vacation down here, check it out, or stay for 2 or 3 months and, see how you like it here. Give it a trial run. For me, it's a really nice place. And
Les, I really want to say thank you so much for giving your story, talking about how you decided to come down here and how your life is now and the experiences you've had. Yeah, a big doctor here. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to say I appreciate the story.
well, I appreciate the interview, and everything is great.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to see any more chats similar to Les's, where we talk to other retirees and other expats here in Latin America, check out this playlist here. Hasta la próxima.